You are as guilty as they are because you were an essential part of that crime. When you went to spend that blood money on sneakers and jerseys, you revealed to the court the value you place on the human life that was taken.
Dedrick Williams was in a Broward County courtroom for violating his probation in a previous grand theft charge. He is also charged with the murder of rapper XXXTentacion. Detectives say Williams killed the rapper as he left a motorsports store in Deerfield Beach.
And at the conclusion of this evidence, you'll find that Dedrick Williams, Michael Boatwright, and Trayvon Newsom are guilty of first-degree murder and guilty of armed robbery in this case.
The trial of 3 men for the murder of rapper XXXTentacion.
You won't believe what's happening right now as shocking updates unfold in the court case surrounding XXXTentacion's tragic death. One of the convicted killers, Dedrick Williams, is now accusing Drake of being involved in the murder. While it sounds unbelievable, the evidence he's presenting in court could change everything. Stay tuned as we uncover these jaw-dropping claims and their potential impact on one of hip-hop's biggest stars. José Dwayne Ricardo Onfroy, widely known as XXXTentacion, was born on January 23, 1998, in Florida, USA. He rose to fame with his unique emo-style rap, captivating fans worldwide with hits like Moonlight and Look at Me. Despite his immense popularity, X often found himself in legal trouble. Yet, he remained a favorite among young listeners who deeply connected with his raw and emotional music. His career came to a heartbreaking end on June 18, 2018, when he was tragically shot outside a motorcycle dealership in Deerfield Beach, Florida. After withdrawing $50,000, X was leaving the dealership with a friend when an SUV blocked their path. Surveillance cameras captured the chilling moment as 2 armed men exited the vehicle. Following a heated confrontation, they fired multiple shots at X and fled the scene with the cash.
Surveillance cameras captured the ambush of rapper XXXTentacion as he prepared to leave a Deerfield Beach motorcycle dealership last June. The cameras show a vehicle block the rapper's exit, and then men jump out of the vehicle and confront XXXTentacion.
The most heartbreaking part was that X was only 20 years old, right at the height of his music career. Gone too soon, as they say. Now, things are heating up again as an appeal has been filed. But here's the bombshell. Is Drake involved? After X's tragic death, 4 suspects were arrested and brought to trial. One of them, Robert Allen, turned on the rest and struck a deal with the feds. His testimony sealed the fate of the other 3, who were found guilty on all counts and sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. Talk about the ultimate betrayal.
After Dedrick Williams realizes that he doesn't have a mask to rob people, what did you guys decide to do?
You want to buy one?
Where?
Regal Motorsport.
Who drove to Regal Motorsports?
Dedrick.
However, the story takes an even more dramatic turn, as one of the convicted, Dedrick Devin Williams, has now filed documents seeking an appeal. Dedrick and his legal team argue that he didn't receive a fair trial, citing that crucial evidence was overlooked and excluded during the proceedings. Here's where things get explosive. They've introduced evidence that could shake the entire entertainment industry, dropping a bombshell by naming Drake in the midst of it all. This revelation is turning an already tense situation into an even bigger nightmare for the world-famous rapper.
Of events, rapper Aubrey Graham, also known as Drake, may actually be linked to late rapper Hassaf Onfroy, also known as XXXTentacion's murder. This may actually be more than just rumors. Dedrick Williams, one of the men convicted in the tragic killing as the getaway driver of the late rapper's death, is appealing his conviction after evidence was not allowed in court, according to his attorney, Marcisio Padilla, who is appointing Drake as a possible suspect. Williams' attorney Padilla argues that the jury didn't hear all the facts.
It seems like Drake just can't escape the drama. Mauricio Padilla, a member of Dedrick's defense team, laid everything out in an interview with Jesse Weber, explaining the wild situation in detail. Here's the thing. Before his death, X made a shocking post on his Instagram, stating that if anything happened to him, Champagne Papi was the one to blame. Considering the beef between X and Drake, which was reportedly quite intense, that statement alone was enough to raise eyebrows. Then X ends up dead. So, was Drake actually involved? Even if he wasn't, this situation isn't looking great for one of the biggest names in hip-hop.
Prior to him being murdered, he had posted on Instagram, if anybody kills me, I'm snitching right now, it's champagne poppy. I'm paraphrasing, but something to that effect, right? So, imagine, the decedent said prior to his death, if anybody kills me, it's champagne poppy, which is Drake's Instagram name.
XXXTentacion's feud with Drake was no secret. These two had some serious bad blood. It's not uncommon for young, up-and-coming rappers to stir up drama with bigger names in the industry as a way to boost their own careers. And it seems like X may have taken a page straight out of this playbook by beefing with Drake in a big way. The tension between them kicked off in 2017 while Drake was on tour. He teased snippets of his new track, KMT, which many fans considered a hit, but not X. After hearing the teasers, people started comparing the intro of Drake's song to X's track, Look at Me. The similarities sparked a lot of chatter, and X wasn't happy about it. Drake eventually addressed the controversy, admitting that the first two lines of his song might resemble X's, but firmly denied copying the younger rapper's work. He expressed surprise that anyone would think he'd do something like that, stating he's neither that dumb nor that kind of person.
Drake, he was supposed to contact one of my managers, so he doesn't do it. That same week, bro.
Demon just got out of cat. I gave my bro.
I have that in my dance.
Just got in my pants.
Hey, can't keep my in my pants. Hey, my bitch don't love me no more. Hey, she kicked me out on life, bro.
XX wasn't the type to stay quiet, especially when it came to drama. He saw the situation with Drake as the ultimate opportunity and wasted no time capitalizing on it. Taking to Twitter, X unleashed his thoughts, boldly declaring that Drake's career was over and advising him to start investing his money elsewhere. A daring move, to say the least. But X didn't stop there. He took the feud to the next level by making a phone call from jail to his longtime friend DJ Academics. During the call, X accused Drake of pretending not to know him, claiming that Drake had previously reached out through a mutual friend to give him props in an interview. Things got even more intriguing when X's former manager, Adam22, chimed in during the No Jumper podcast. Adam refuted Drake's claims of being unfamiliar with X before the release of KMT, revealing that Drake's team had contacted DJ Carnage to discuss a possible collaboration with X. And the drama didn't stop there. More phone conversations between X and DJ Academics emerged, where X continued to escalate the feud. He outright called Drake a culture vulture, accusing him of constantly stealing from up-and-coming artists. He even referenced the alleged controversy with Dram, claiming Drake swiped the song Hotline Bling, which was initially meant to be a remix of Dram's hit Cha Cha. Then, in a bizarre twist, X suggested that Drake should have attended his court date to vouch for him. This unexpected comment only added to the confusion and complexity of the entire situation.
Keeping the blood raw, I still think Drake, I think he's not a man. I think that's a move. Especially when I was in jail facing life, bro. You get what I'm saying? If Drake would have came to my bond hearing, you know what I'm saying, that would have made my day. If he would have showed that he's a hospitable person and that he's really in this for the culture, rather than being a nigga taking my running off with it and then putting it on his album, then he would have got my kudos. He would have got my respect. I would have let him hop on the remix, take 100% royalty rate. I would have done it because I know I can maintain. You get what I'm saying? And I would have appreciated him for being a real nigga, but Drake not a real nigga.
And that wasn't even the craziest part. X took an even harsher jab at Drake by allegedly shooting his shot at Drake's mom on Twitter. He boldly called her cute and said, "She could get it." Quite the low blow, even for X, don't you think? But he didn't stop there. X doubled down on Instagram Live the very same day, repeating his comments for everyone to see. Yes, you heard that right. X went all in, choosing the petty route and keeping everyone entertained with his antics.
Hey, tell Drake mom I want some. Hey, tell Drake mom
I want some tapioca pudding. Tell Drake, Mom, I like my pudding tapioca.
And yet, X still wasn't done. He continued to come for Drake, this time mocking his fake Jamaican accent. During a live session, X bluntly told Drake to stop speaking patois, claiming he wasn't from Jamaica and accusing him of stealing his culture. X even added that he and his entire family were from Kingston, Jamaica, fueling the cultural appropriation accusations against Drake. Now, I know y'all must be wondering, what did Drake have to say about all this? Well, surprisingly, Drizzy stayed silent, choosing not to engage. It seems Champagne Papi decided to take the high road, showing some serious maturity amidst all the chaos.
And hey, tell this Drake, stop speaking patois. You are not Jamaican. I'm a real Jamaican. I'm from Kingston. All of my family is from Kingston. Stop stealing my people's culture. Get the off our... We don't claim you.
The beef didn't end there. It dragged on for months, with tensions rising and falling intermittently, and more rappers like 600 Breezy getting caught up in the middle of it. The two continued to throw jabs at each other, with Drake subtly taking shots at X by liking a comment on DJ Academic's Instagram page that mocked X for getting knocked out on stage by Rob Stone. Looks like Drizzy can be shady too, huh? The beef seemed to cool down in 2018 when X made an unexpected move. He publicly apologized to Drake's mom for the shady comments he made about her. However, X stuck to his guns, still claiming that the KMT song sounded way too similar to his own track. He never changed his tune, insinuating that Drake had ripped him off.
I want to say this right now. I want to say this on this video. I apologize to Drake for coming for his mom. I saw you as a business opportunity as you saw me as a business opportunity. As you extorted the cadence from that song. I'm not gonna argue. It is what it is, nigga. The cadence is exactly same. And if I'm just an emotional then it is what it is. We agree to disagree like men, but I apologize because talking about his mom was wrong.
Derek's attorney speaks out, and because of the ongoing beef between Drake and X, Mauricio Padilla is now trying to shift the defense strategy, seemingly adding Drake into the mix. Padilla points out several errors that support Derek's appeal. He begins by highlighting that the state asked him to strike off all the witnesses he had filed in his witness list, which, according to him, is not even legally possible. Padilla also claims that he was ordered to provide the state with some kind of blueprint detailing what his defense was going to be, which he argues is highly inappropriate.
In December of 2020, I filed a witness list. The state's reaction to that was to file a motion saying, we want the court to strike all of his witnesses, that's not even something that's legal or that you could do. You have to itemize who you want stricken. You just can't shotgun approach and say, I want all of his defense witnesses stricken. But the state attorney did that. In a hearing that I had to defend, myself in that motion, the court didn't grant that, but the court instructed me to file a pleading, which was the nexus in my defense witnesses and what nexus they had to my theory of defense, which I argued was inappropriate because at the end of the day, you're ordering me to give the state a blueprint of what my defense is going to be.
It just keeps getting messier. Mauricio Padilla also filed a motion to perpetuate DJ Academic's testimony, as the DJ was a longtime friend of X and deeply involved in the feud. Academics had posted several videos on YouTube about his phone calls with X, where they discussed the drama involving Drake's mom and a picture X wanted him to post. The image in question was a Drake lookalike with semen on his face, which Academics refused to post. He even warned X to be cautious, suggesting that despite Drake not being a street gangster, he might retaliate. However, the court denied Padilla's motion to perpetuate Academic's testimony, which only adds to the growing tension and raises more questions.
The court was fully aware of my theory of defense. Prior to that, I filed a motion to perpetuate the testimony of Livingston Allen, which goes by the name of DJ Academics, because DJ Academics was friends with X and had posted long YouTube, content regarding this beef. He actually posted YouTube saying that he was on the phone with X discussing the issue and the beef that he had with Drake, and specifically X had either said or posted something about Drake's mom, and he had posted a picture of a Drake lookalike with semen on his face, and he wanted DJ Academics to post it on his own site, and he said, I'm not going to do that. And in that conversation, DJ Academics says that you better be careful, because even though, like, and I'm paraphrasing again, even though he's not a gangster, you may be pushing him.
But wait, there's more. Mauricio Padilla added that during a later court date, the process server who had served Drake appeared as a witness. Padilla wanted to present video evidence showing the attempt to serve Drake with a subpoena. The footage reportedly captures Drake's bodyguards being uncooperative, and one of Drake's employees is even seen kicking the subpoena down the road at his mansion. Crazy, right? This adds even more fuel to the already explosive situation.
At that time, James Beard, which is the process server that served Drake, appeared as a witness, and I wanted to show video that he took of the actual attempted service, where it shows Drake's bodyguards or the people that are in front of his house refusing to cooperate. It showed one of Drake's employees kicking the subpoena down the road that leads to his mansion. And the judge didn't allow me to show that.
But the craziest part is that the judge actually didn't allow Mauricio to show the video in court. Instead, the judge asked him why he wanted to involve Drake in the matter and granted Drake's motion to squash the subpoena. On top of that, he issued a protective order for Drake and allowed his attorney, Brad Cohen, to argue California law without even having a California expert present. To make matters worse, the judge struck Drake off Mauricio's witness list, which seems completely inappropriate. Looks like Drizzy might have some very powerful allies at the top.
The judge did a 180 from telling me to figure it out, coordinate it, take the depot, did a 180, told me, why are you involving him? Granted the motion for protective order, granted the motion to quash my subpoena, allowed Mr. Cohen to argue California law without having a California expert there, and basically kind of chastised me about, why are you bringing him in?
And Mauricio wasn't done yet. He speculates that the judge might have made these decisions, which seem to be in Drizzy's favor, because of his huge celebrity status, calling Drake a super celebrity. He argues that this might be the reason the judge made so many unconstitutional calls in the beginning, taking away the fairness of Derek's trial. It's special treatment for the most popular individual, a script we've seen countless times.
I don't want to speculate as to why, but when you're dealing with someone like Drake, which he's not a celebrity, he's a super celebrity. He's like in the stratosphere of fame. So when a judge does a 180 like that, I'll let the viewers or other people figure out why they think that it happened.
And it gets even wilder. The judge also strikes Jesse De La Cruz, a gang expert, as a witness, even though Cruz claimed to have found visual evidence that Drake might have been affiliated with the same organization as the co-defendant in the case, Robert Allen. Fishy, huh? Apparently, Dr. Cruz had research showing Drake throwing the same gang signs as Robert Allen. To add to that, he also revealed that Drake's associates were allegedly seen in X's neighborhood, threatening him before.
And the defense, my understanding, wanted to call Jesse De La Cruz, who they had claimed, discovered visual evidence that Drake could have had ties to the same organization as a co-defendant in this case, Robert Allen.
Yes. Okay. So Dr. De La Cruz did proffer to the court everything that you've stated regarding the song lyrics, the fact that Drake was throwing gang signs that were the same gang signs that Allen was throwing up in different social media posts.
And that's not the end. Cruz apparently made connections between Drake's lyrics and X's untimely passing in songs Drake released after X's death. The songs in question are Triple X, which has some suspicious lyrics where Drake says, "I shot below the neck," and "I'm upset," with a line about Louis bags for body bag, which Cruz believes was a reference to the Louis Vuitton bag X had with him containing the $50,000 that was stolen during the shootout. So, why would the judge deny Cruz a chance to take the witness stand? It's getting messier by the second.
Shortly after XXX was killed, the brief writes, Mr. Graham released a song entitled Triple X with suspicious lyrics. SMS Triple X, that's the only time I shot below the neck. And Dr. Cruz found another connection between the murder and Drake's lyrics in the song I'm Upset. The song I'm Upset contains lyrics regarding Louis bags for body bags, the implication there being that Drake was referencing murder. But ultimately, Cruz was completely excluded from the trial, and the jury did not hear any of his findings.
I don't believe that that was a legal call. I think it was error for him to do that and not allow us to put forth that testimony. And we put up pictures of Drake with Lil Wayne throwing up a Bloods gang sign and other evidence that Drake is out there flaunting gang ties.
The drama still continues. Mauricio also claims that despite being given a chance to argue his case and cross-examine Allen, the court limited how thorough he could be during the cross-examination. He went on to say that he asked Allen about one of the guns used, which Allen's father allegedly provided, and its possible ties to Toronto, but the judge shut down that question.
Allen admitted that his father, known dealer, known firearms dealer, as the brief states, produced at least one of the guns that was used in this. When I asked him about his father and ties to Toronto and dealing, the state objected, and the judge didn't allow that question.
He also goes on to say that the state attorney made another grave mistake by asking Allen whether he knew if Drake was in Miami at that time before Drake had been struck out as a witness. This opened the door to Drake being a person of interest, which complicated Mauricio's defense. Mauricio had to ask a similar question during cross-examination, to which Allen responded that his partner checked social media and confirmed Drake's whereabouts, a flimsy verification for a homicide trial. On top of that, none of this was included in their report. They pulled a nasty move here and actually got away with it.
So it was a constant battle for me to try and basically do my job and show where reasonable doubt existed. With Allen, with Detective Curcio, the problem here is also that the state attorney, on direct of Detective Curcio, which was the lead detective in the case, she asked, do you have any information that Drake was involved in this? And that was before the court struck him. So whatever the reasons may have existed, the moment that state attorney opens up their mouth and says that, now he's really at issue.
Despite everyone saying justice had been served for XXXTentacion, with the charging of Derek and the other two convicts, it is clear that the trial was filled with so many blunders and contradictions that we simply cannot brush off. Drake might have had a hand in the unaliving, but the grave errors in the trial might have just saved the superstar from some major trouble. However, the appeal might go through, and Drake might just find himself in some hot water. Did you enjoy watching this video? If so, don't forget to like and share. Also, keep an eye out for our next video where we'll be discussing Kendrick Lamar and Drake's feud.